We are in New York, and today I'm gathered with Dylan from Crypto the Game.
Hey,
Hi, Dylan.
thanks so much for having me.
It's been quite exciting to watch everything that is happening with Crypto the Game.
Yeah.
It's a new dynamic that we haven't seen much of, and you just walked in and started killing it like no one's business.
Yeah.
Everyone is so excited about it. Everyone had so much fun on season one.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, it might seem like I just kind of stumbled upon the scene, but I've been, working in different consumer tech startups and interactive game shows for what seems like forever. But I've kind of had this idea for basically my entire life. So it was
Really?
so fun to see it come to fruition. But for those that are listening or watching and don't know, Crypto the Game at the highest level is a massive crypto survivor game where everyone buys in, joins a tribe, competes daily in immunity challenges, and votes each other out over the course of 10 days until one person wins the entire pot, which is comprised of the buy-ins. Heavily influenced by the TV show Survivor, also takes inspiration from things like Hunger Games and Squid Game and this kind of like tried and true format of hundreds will play, one will win. But yeah, I grew up a Survivor fan. I used to play this like CD-ROM version of Survivor called Survivor Ultimate on my computer as a kid, and you chose which cast member to play as. You competed in like a tic-tac-toe challenge for immunity.
Yeah.
But at that, I really just always wanted to play a version of Survivor online with my friends. But yeah, it's been wild to see.
How did you come up with the game structure? I mean, it's probably like your area of expertise and where you have the most fun.
Yeah.
With all things that you can do on chain. How did you design this?
Yeah. So I actually started my career in TV. So I was an NBC page out of college and worked at Saturday Night Live, which was the most insane and amazing year of my life. But kind of was like bit by this like live TV bug, and only stumbled upon tech by way of HQ Trivia. So I'm not sure if you remember HQ or if you played it, but it was this live interactive game show on your phone. It went bonkers viral, at least in the States, in like 2018, 2019. The Rock hosted, Robert De Niro hosted. It was this huge like pop culture phenomenon. But I really joined HQ for this kind of grand vision of the future of live TV and a live interactive TV network. So being the huge Survivor fan as I am, I kind of like pitched this idea of what's now CTG internally at HQ at the time as a future, HQ show idea. And I don't know, it just kind of like been on my mind for the last, 6 or so years. I think that it had no crypto component tied to it at the time, and I think the reason why it's resonating so well with people is because it was an idea first, and then crypto makes it that much more fun. And I really don't think it would have had like nearly as much success if I just like sat down at a whiteboard, earlier this year and said like I want to build a crypto game. It was like I have this idea. Does crypto make it more fun? And in this case, I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. For season 2, everyone
Yeah.
is super excited. You have like so many really cool partnerships and integrations. Like how different will it be from season 1?
So I think similar to the show Survivor, the high level idea of each season will be the same, of many people playing, voting each other off, last person standing wins the pot. But each season will have its own unique twist. So for season 2, we're calling it Anon Island. And unlike season 1, where you essentially sent your buy-in to our multisig and we basically paid 90% of the pot to the one winner's address, for season 2, you mint an NFT, which represents your slot in the game. And connecting your Twitter is optional, but if you were to connect your Twitter and play as yourself and then hypothetically sell your NFT as you got closer to the finale for arguably more than you got in for to almost like hedge your parlay or cash out,
Wow.
the person who bought that NFT wouldn't inherit your identity and your Twitter connection. They would have the ability themselves to either connect their own Twitter or play anonymously. And so this idea of like humans versus anons, or being able to like essentially sell your spot at any point throughout the game, I think really adds like a much much more on-chain dynamic this time.
How is it going to be like the same amount of days? Have you structured it differently from the core?
Yeah, so it'll be 10 days again. That's how long season 1 was. I think anything more than that, people would completely burn out because it really ballooned into this like 24/7, 10-day crypto reality show.
It's really intense.
So I think 10 days felt like the sweet spot. Boys Club, I don't know if you know Boys Club, they're going to be doing a companion podcast. So at the end of each episode or at the end of each day, they're going to release a podcast kind of like covering the drama and the chaos and the challenge.
Fun to watch,
it's going to kind of just like expand the universe of CTG beyond the like core 800 players, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, no, that brings in a really interesting dynamic to it. Like even if people were able to watch in some kind of way, that would be like, like amazing because then you expand the dynamic between like players and watchers.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the most frequently requested feature for season 1 was like the ability to watch if you're not playing. I think it's still something transparently that we're like trying to figure out because on a show like Survivor, if you were a contestant, you wouldn't necessarily see the voting happening in real time. And before you cast your vote, you almost have to like wait until the show airs on TV months later and you're like at home on your couch to see who voted for you. So hypothetically, if we were to have like a very live experience, like you as a player could like log out or connect a different wallet as a viewer and like see who's voting for who in real time. And that could influence the decision. So we're definitely going to have a much more engaging viewer experience this season, but I don't think you'll be able to see everything that the players see. But yeah.
What about like releasing some footage later or something like this?
Yeah, so there's no video in the game. But I definitely want to like share as much content as possible. A lot of players last season organically like created their own content of them playing the game and sharing it. And I think between that, doubling the player size, the Boys Club companion podcast, like it's going to definitely expand the universe.
Really what were some maybe like funny or like maybe something that went wrong, like anything that happened on season 1 that would be like interesting to bring up?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the fact that it really just like turned into this 24/7 fully engaged audience just like really blew my mind. I think I kind of assumed that people would log in the morning, play a round of that day's challenge, form an alliance with someone they knew on from Twitter or had worked with, and then like come back on that night to vote. But it really just turned into this like you're either in or you're out, and you have to be all in to be in. So people had like Zoom calls with their entire tribe to like talk about their strategy. People were like setting up fake work meetings to like still look like they're being productive, but in reality they were just like talking to their tribe mates and like colluding on who to vote people out. There were Survivor viewing parties between tribes in real life to like strategize, just like tribe mates meeting up, things like that. It was just like so I don't know, so amazing to see.
Yeah, and I think that we will only see more of that with season 2.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Like crypto is very community driven,
Yeah.
and I think that dynamic that you just described has a lot to do with that. Do you think if this had been built in like not in Web3, it would have performed as well as it did?
I think yes and no. I think the game is so much fun and the concept is so engaging that I think anyone that plays it would have fun, which is why I think we're going to see more and more people experience crypto for the first time via CTG. In season 1, about 10% of the players, this was their first experience in crypto. And I think that's only going to go up as the word spreads. But we essentially bootstrapped the pot because that was comprised of the buy-in. So unlike something like HQ Trivia, where we gave away real money to the winners, and that was mostly through like venture funding, essentially, we haven't raised any money. So I don't think we would have been able to grow the pot as large as we did without crypto. Like I think it would have been really hard to convince 400 Web2 folks to pay the equivalent of like $200 or $300 to like test out a new gaming use case. But like on our unique corner of the internet, everyone was like very willing to ape into this thing.
We love experimenting with things. It's It's one of the benefits of this industry, I think, because there's a lot of room to experiment, and we could just like build something, throw it out, and people are happy to play and give it a go. Yeah,
honestly, that's been probably the most surprising thing, is like how supportive the like community has been. This is like everything else has been in my career has been, Web 2 or Trad TV. And, I've definitely been building in public with regards to this game, and a lot of former coworkers and folks not in crypto are always saying to me like, oh, like, don't you want to like, aren't you nervous someone's going to like see that and build a knockoff, or aren't you like, you're giving away, your secrets. And to me, it's like hire together is like what everyone keeps saying. I genuinely feel that way. Like there's not going to be only one crypto game that succeeds. Like we're either all going to make it or we're not. So I don't know, which is ironic because the game is very anti-WACME with one person winning, but yeah, it's like I think people play this game for the for the networking opportunity, for the experience, for the basically the chance to like be on a reality show in a weird way. Cause I think that's like everyone, at least I always wanted to go on Survivor and play the game, and now everyone can. Yeah. I think some people just have so much fun playing. They don't even care if they win or not. Yeah. And they form new friendships through the experience, which is crazy. I honestly don't think that someone could easily come and take your ideas because of your background. It's not just like watching and like taking notes and sure, I can do this. Yeah, there's definitely been a handful of similar ideas that have popped up on CT. Really? But it's all about execution and 100%. Yeah. Would you like in the future maybe come up with a different game maybe? Oh, for sure. This is like the first of so many ideas that I have. I think I love Survivor, but I also always loved Amazing Race. And I think like in the same way that we took a Survivor type show and made it massive and crypto and interactive and for everyone, like the same can be said about an Amazing Race format or a dating show or a talent competition or a Shark Tank format. And like this could be, the future of reality TV. That'd be so exciting, honestly. Yeah. I've reduced my time watching things in general, and I think that would ruin it for sure. So going back to how you got into everything, were you in crypto before this, or did you just jump from TV straight to? No. I mean, personally, I've been buying and selling, Bitcoin and Ethereum since like 2017. Kind of like I grew up a huge like baseball card collector. Still kind of am, but that feeling of opening a pack of cards and like seeing what you got, if it was rare, if it was a one of one, like that feeling was only ever replicated when I minted my first NFT, probably like 2020-ish, 2021. And I just like immediately had this like aha moment that like, this is so much fun. The most recent startup I was at before this was a fundraising tool for founders called Party Round. I ran marketing there, and we did a bunch of like stunty drops, and a lot of those were I'd say like crypto native. We did something called Helpful VCs, where we made like crypto punk inspired like PFPs and NFTs of like a bunch of VCs. So you might see some of them still have basically like punks of their likeness. I know Packy McCormick and Alexis Ohanian and a bunch of them had that as their PFP for a while, but that was a Party Round drop that was on chain. We did a monopoly board in partnership with Shrug Capital, where all the pieces were different VC funds. It was like a VC monopoly board. But we also had companion NFTs for all the squares, so you could mint, the Paradigm or the A16Z like board on the Shrug and Party Round monopoly. So like I've definitely done a bunch of crypto drops, but this is my first crypto company. I like that you have like your way of bringing in people into a project. It sounds like it's very like designed to be playful. Yep. Like the gamification of things. What are some
ideas that pop to your mind, just whatever comes up, that people could, like some dynamics for those who do marketing in the space, that they should be playing around with more, because I feel like marketing tends to be very repetitive, and whoever takes like a creative spin on things tends to win very easily. Do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, I'd say first and foremost, like build for yourself. Like I've never operated with so much conviction as I have in my entire life. I mean, Party Round, like we scrolled through tech Twitter all day, and like we knew that the founders and the VCs that would be like engaging with our drops were doing the same thing. So our kind of like the question we always asked was like, is this funny to us? Or like, would we buy this? Would we mint this? And if the answer was yes, then it would resonate with the masses, because like we were the consumer. With CTG, like I said, I'm a huge Survivor fan, always wanted to play the show. Like, would hiding an immunity idol on the game like excite me as a player? Yes, then let's do it. If we merge the tribes, would that be a holy shit moment for players? It would for me. Let's do it. Like, I'm basically just like building the game that I always wanted to play, and it's so much easier. I'm not trying to, like I said, just build a crypto game for the sake of building one. It's like, this is the game that I always wanted to see in the world. And it's so much easier that way. The other thing I always tell folks is like, make something that people want to share, not something that they feel like they have to share. The big trend with, consumer apps in particular is like, you have to invite X people in order to use the app, or like you can't do anything unless you post about it. It's like, that is I don't know, that's a hassle. And like, I personally churn or there's too much friction for me. Whereas with CTG, at least in season 1, we granted immunity for everyone you referred to the game. And that's just like a growth mechanic that we took, inspiration from HQ from. But that's something that everyone really wanted to share. You might have seen a bunch of like pre-populated tweets on the timeline over the last few days of folks saying that they're playing Crypto the Game. I think that's because the copy's not cringe. It's almost like a clout thing. Yes, I get immunity for tweeting, but it's like something that I think everyone really wanted to share, because it's like proving that you're like in this thing.
You're in.
But if you had to tweet just to mint, I don't know that we necessarily would have had the same success.
You have been getting a lot of attention since season 1, and with attention comes like sorting through, prioritizing. How have you been navigating that?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, we finished season 1 and immediately started working on season 2. There was fortunately a ton of inbound interest from brands that wanted to take part in it, which we kind of like turned into sponsorship conversations. So I think with season 1, really just wanted to like see if people would play this thing. I kind of just like tweeted it out, and luckily it resonated and went pretty viral within our corner of the internet. But for season 2, like not only am I trying to like prove that we're not a one-hit wonder and make the stakes even bigger and make it that much more fun, but like from a business standpoint, I'm also trying to prove out multiple revenue streams and like make this thing very sustainable. We're self-funded and a team of 3, and like very excited to just
You're only 3?
Yeah, it's myself and Brian and Ty. They both worked with me at Party Round, and luckily we're down to do this for a rev share and an equity split. And with season 2, we have 5, almost 6 sponsors. I'm meeting one right after this to hopefully finalize the deal that hasn't been announced yet. But
I saw a couple of them. I think you tweeted about it or something.
Yeah, so Lens, Uniswap, Safe, POOP, and Wormhole are all sponsoring different parts of season 2.
Great. All great brands.
Yeah, amazing brands that I think will make it. My big thing is like, I don't want anything to feel like an ad. So hopefully as a player, you don't even notice that it's an ad, and it's actually a partnership that like makes this even more fun, more beneficial to the players, more engaging and interactive, more on chain, involves the platforms in like a very organic way. So between like taking 10% of the pot, royalties on secondary sales of the NFTs, the high margin sponsorship revenue, and something that I'm calling partner revenue, which is like I mentioned the Boys Club companion podcast, but we have like a financial arrangement to like split rev share and things like that. But really just trying to prove out for us and myself that like this is a profitable and sustainable thing that we can keep doing.
Yeah. I saw so many cool people tweeting about playing the game, which is like really exciting.
Yeah.
Who are some of the people that you didn't expect to sign up and play?
Yeah. So Justin Blau, he goes by Blau. He's a DJ.
Yeah.
We grew up together on Long Island in New York, and we're like super, super close friends in like elementary school, middle school. I think between 6th and 7th grade, his family moved across the country to the West Coast, and we completely lost touch. And like 20 years had gone by, and we hadn't spoken. And he's super active in Web3, and he signed up for the game, and we kind of like reconnected. He was like, "Oh my God, you're behind this? Yeah, how have you been? Oh my God, you guys moved, right?" And it's like, yeah, and we like completely reconnected over this game, which was like so wild to see, because I don't know that we ever would have gotten back in touch other than that. And he actually went on to create a custom soundtrack for season 2 for us, which was amazing.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, honestly, just like I was surprised genuinely by every single person that played. I knew it was fun. I knew whoever played it would like it. But you know, you never know. That's kind of like the cold start problem. Like like I said, I kind of just like tweeted it out and hoped that it would resonate. So every single sign up that came in on both seasons just like meant so much to me.
And season 2, like it was full like so quickly.
We capped it at 800 players, and mostly because I just like think the game is much more enjoyable with like a more intimate tribe. We based off the I guess virality of season 1 and the fact that it almost went viral after entries locked in the game began, I think we probably could have opened the floodgates and cashed out and ruin the experience, I think, for players. But it was just really important to me to like maintain that level of intimacy and not have you as a player feel like there are thousands of people on your tribe and you're just randomly scrolling through PFPs to like vote people out. Like you have to genuinely have the social dynamic of, I think, a few hundred players. Yesterday we like launched the public mint, and in 13 minutes it sold out, which was insane. Yeah.
13 minutes.
It's wild. I know. It's just like, I don't know, in the weeks leading up to it, I was so nervous that it wouldn't. In the back of my mind, I kind of knew that it would, but
the previous one.
you never know. It's like, and it still hasn't launched. So like, I don't want to celebrate too soon, but the fact that this many people either saw it and want to play it just like means the world to me.
Everyone is so excited, and I bet those Zoom calls have started already.
Yeah.
I think people are already like scheming like how they're gonna partner up based on their previous people who are playing for the second time. They are already thinking how they're gonna go further this time.
Yeah.
How can people keep up with you? Because this is a really exciting moment for you, and I'm sure everyone wants to follow what you're up to.
Yeah, I mean, from the game standpoint, we're at @CryptoTheGame_ on Twitter. I reached out to Twitter about @CryptoTheGame, which is 13 characters and incredibly inactive, and they asked for 50 grand through the new handle swap program. So, we went with the underscore. On Farcaster, we have a channel that's Crypto the Game. Personally, I post about it all the time on every platform, and my handle everywhere is just my full name, Dylan Abruscato. And it all takes place on CryptoTheGame.com. So if you want to mint, it's on CryptoTheGame.com. We have an NFT marketplace for people that are selling their slots. That'll be on CryptoTheGame.com. The games, the chats, the voting periods, all takes place on CryptoTheGame.com.
And the game starts on?
Monday. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know when this will air, but Monday, April 8th.
We'll make sure this airs before. Dylan, thank you so much.
Yeah, this was a blast. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.